I'm standing in Brighton outside a petrol station and I'm really upset. There's a sign here that invites me to come in, you see, for videos. That's video '(s), CD '(s), DVD '(s), and book '(s).
Punctuation is just a set of conventions.
I get extremely exercised about the loss of the apostrophe.
I experience physical pain when I see apostrophes being used where they shouldn't or left out where they should.
Over the next 5 weeks, with the help of experts and obsessives, Cutting a Dash will present the case for caring about punctuation, preserving it, and grappling as if lives were at stake with the proper use of the semicolon. And we begin today with the apostrophe, because, let's face it, even if putting an apostrophe in a sign for books may not quite be proof of the collapse of civilization, it is extremely and worryingly ignorant. David Denison, Professor of Linguistics at Manchester University, charitably tries to explain why some people just can't get the hang of it.
The apostrophe is different from a lot of other irregularities in language which are difficult to master in that it is entirely artificial. It's an invention effectively of printers, and it bears no correspondence to the spoken word. You can't hear an apostrophe, ever.
Well, all right, that's true. When Victor Borger made his fine comedy routine out of the imagined sounds of punctuation marks, it's noticeable that the apostrophe was one he didn't even attempt.
A period sounds like this. A dash. An exclamation point is a vertical dash with a period underneath. The comma. Quotation, not two commas. Or if you happen to be left-handed.
The apostrophe's effectively only been in use for 200 or 300 years, and the rules of its application are so arbitrary and difficult to learn that it's hardly surprising that without a great deal of rote learning and checking at school, people find it difficult to know when it should and shouldn't be used. People who are not sure whether it should be used but have a general sense that leaving it out might be bad will put it in, and put it in a bit too often, and that's a sign that it's dying.
There's an awful plausibility to Professor Denison's argument. The overuse of the apostrophe is a sign that it's an endangered species. Who will save us from this catastrophe? Step forward John Richards, retired newspaper sub-editor and founder of the Apostrophe Protection Society. Not exactly the caped and masked apostrophe man I'd hoped for. His laser eye spots the misplaced apostrophe. He swoops. He magically repunctuates. Richards is a mild-mannered man from Lincolnshire who joined me in a walk through London streets, just sort of eloquently wincing at the horrors he saw there. John, you've been in London a few hours now. Have you spotted many offenders yet on signs?
Many offenders. I would think every street there's been at least one example, and some cases multi-examples, and two just outside Broadcasting House, of course. All Souls Church, no apostrophe. St George's Hotel, no apostrophe. Every road there is at least one mistake.
So, just to be clear about all this, what are the rules for the apostrophe? Students in Year 4 at Queensgate Primary School in Stockport, just 8 years old, seem to know already when it's needed.
When it's in possession, like someone's dog or someone's coat.
When you're shortening word like we have, it's like we've.
Use it to contract words. Contractive apostrophes.
Possessive apostrophes, contractive apostrophes. Those two uses sound pretty straightforward. But as Professor David Denison points out, there are cases where those two uses annoyingly compete.
So there's a conflict. Are you going to use the apostrophe to mark omission of a letter or to mark possession? And the utterly arbitrary rule, which seems to have come out of printers' conventions, is that in that case the apostrophe should be kept for marking contraction of is or has and not for possession. And so we have to write its without an apostrophe, and we have to write whose without an apostrophe and then put an E on the end of it, just to make it even more confusing, because its with an apostrophe and whose with an apostrophe are supposed to stand for it is or it has and who is or who has. Now, how can you learn that without a great deal of effort? It's not simple.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?